What is up? What is up?
Yo, what's going on, Chris A? Welcome back,
Man,
everyone, to another episode of the Daily Chronicles. Tonight is another super special check off the bucket list episode. We have members of the Chill Kong, some of the Day One fam representing tonight, joining us. We got Swaggins, Benny, and then we have one of the biggest Kong holders, Arctic Alpha Dachshund, showing himself. Everyone, we appreciate their time for joining. Chrissy, how we doing? How I'm sounding? I know I'm sounding kind of hoarse. We had a long weekend at GutterCon, but that just makes it more exciting to meet these guys, see their faces, and then see them in CNFT Con in like 2.5 weeks. So, how we doing, honey?
Going to GutterCon got me really excited for CNFT Con. Just seeing Vegas and getting to hang out with people in person, talk NFTs, talk Web3. It was a mini movie. This is going to be a big movie. So I can't wait. These guys are already great. I love meeting them on the web, and we're going to meet them all in person soon. So I'm excited they're here on the channel before we get to go meet them in person.
Absolutely.
So
we're gonna go ahead and bring on our special guest. We're gonna touch on what the Chill Kongs have upcoming. We're gonna touch on a little bit of the controversy. We're gonna touch on Arctic's awesome post, his investigative work, and our findings, and how we're gonna go ahead and look forward to moving forward on this. What up, River Rock? You always in here, my brother. Appreciate
hey,
you.
River Rock.
So yeah, Chrissy, let's go ahead and bring in the fam. Let them introduce themselves. Let everybody see who's behind the PFP, and let's get to it, honey.
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and bring in. Here is Arctic.
Arctic.
Hey guys.
He's going to join us for a shorter time. So we really appreciate you being here on your time crunch.
Absolutely.
Friday night, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So awesome to see you.
Yes. So great to see you, Docs. Here is Swaggins.
Yeah.
What is up?
Man.
And we got Benny the man.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. There he is.
I should have thought it like he did.
This is
What's
awesome,
up, y'all?
man.
What's up? This is going to be fun. I'm excited to have everyone here.
I need to get them neon lights in the background.
I know.
I love that shit, man.
I need a
So look, fam, it's so awesome for you guys to be here finally, man. This is awesome. Day ones, team members, big freaking swangers, freaking Arctic jumping in, just
diamond handers,
yes.
Because look, it's funny. No matter all the stuff that's happening and all the complaining about whatever, because people, when their bags get hurt, people get they start to get a little more yappy, and let's be real, ain't nobody's bag been hurt as big as my dude Arctic in the middle, so let's just be honest with that. So hey, not even that way. It just shows that you feel on the community, and I like it. So, I mean, what you feel on this whole situation, Arctic, and what drove you to the Kongs, and what's still showing you? Obviously, we've been in since December 8th, 34.8 a mint. We know the community.
Rub it in.
I don't need to do. If you would, I'd have Jake's numbers. You feel me? But like, I only did 5.
For real, dude.
And I only have 12 now, so I'm not no big dog. Like, I love where I'm at because I love the team. I love the community. I love the people that I know and that I associate with on a daily basis, which is right here. So, what made you, for the audience? What made you get into the Kongs? What made you dive into the Kongs? And then how do you feel about the scenario we're going on before we touch on with Benny and Swaggins on why they joined the team and how they feel about everything? Sorry, I'm kind of excited and all over.
It's good. It's good. So yeah, I originally, when I started NFTs, I kind of just came in, not really knowing anything. What makes an NFT valuable? I didn't really know anything about that. So I came in, I was on JPEG Store. I wasn't here during the previous marketplace, but Kongs were one of the top projects, and what immediately drove me to them was the art. And so that first Cardano NFT I bought was the Arctic Alpha. I was not expecting it to be anything noteworthy. Came in, said, hey, where are the ranks? Where are the ranks for these? Like, how do I'm a numbers guy. So I was looking at Clay's too. So like, okay, like if it's, rank number 1, it's rank 10,000. I know a little bit about how to infer value from that. So like, we don't have any ranks, it's about, what the community values it at. And, it's very subjective. So I was like, okay. And then I found the Arctic Alpha and I was like, all right, has some rare traits, looks really good. It's kind of like different than any other Kong. It really is, in my opinion. So I bought it, and I'd never been part of an NFT Discord community at all. So I bought it, and people went absolutely crazy. They went nuts, and that's not what I was expecting at all.
Right.
Dopamine overload, baby.
Yes,
yeah,
dude.
it was like, okay, this is really cool, and the community really cares, and they were, it was just it was contagious. So like, what's your Twitter? I don't have a Twitter, so I was like, okay, I'll create one. So and they're like, oh, it's a polar Kong, it's like a alpha, like a Arctic Kong. I was like, okay, like Arctic Alpha, and it just kind of rest is history. Went from there. I think the two biggest assets of the Kong brand are the community and the art. The art is addicting.
Yeah,
It's straight up is. I bought 44 of them, and it's hard for me to not buy more. Like, I got to be like, okay, you got to stop. It's a problem. But the other side of that is the community, which I think is one of the best. Even in this, in the bottom of the bear market, and even after some of this FUD has come out, like some of my favorite relationships are in Kongs. There's people in every community that are kind of, don't, depict the ethics and, personality and values of a project on any project. There's those people. So, but we all know that, and yeah. So, do you want to talk about that, or do you want me to go into what I think about?
Hey, stage is yours, my bro. I love hearing it.
I don't like monologuing. So
listen,
please,
you got baptized into NFTs. You literally got baptized.
I made some mistakes.
The iceberg became like a trending word on Twitter.
No, Swaggins, the Berg. The
Berg. Another NFT to the Berg was added to the Berg.
I was very fortunate to have Ron and Jake like immediately come in and be like, all right, bro, like we need to sit you down. And
because you know why they did that? Because you pumped the floor before you were ready to like make your position.
100%. I had no, and I
came in to save you from yourself in that sense.
Yeah, I come from a traditional finance background.
Yeah,
I've been 28 now, been investing since I was like 11 or 12.
Wow.
So I'm very, I don't know if you guys know what the word slippage is, but that's like when you buy and it moves the price. In traditional finance, that it doesn't happen. Like, you're playing with billions, like people have billions and hedge funds have billions. And so when I bought that, I had no idea it would affect the floor price so much. So I learned that pretty quick. So the current issues surrounding Shulkongs. First off, I love the project. That has never changed. The first day after I heard that, I was like pretty concerned. All I had read was Nero's tweet, and it kind of hit, and like, this could be true. Some of the pieces like added up like a little bit. And I was like, okay, I need to have my stance on this and do some due diligence. And I'm going to be objective. I am not going to sugarcoat anything and try to pump my back. That's not who I am. I'm not a flipper. I'm like a long-term holder. That's why I chose ADA in 2017, because it wasn't flashy. I'm not in it for the quick buck. I'm here for the long haul. So, and your brand is more important than money. It 100% is, and that's all you are at one point. It affects everything you can do in the future. So I'm going to be objective. I'm not going to pull any punches. So that's initially when it went into it. I typed up a Twitter thread like a day later, and I was basically going to like really hound Aki, and because it looked really bad. And it's like, I was typing that up during the Congress session, and out of the blue, Aki messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm here if you have any questions." And I was like, "Okay, wow, okay." You know, normally guilty people will not be like, "Hey, I'm right here. Ask me anything you want." So I was like, "Okay, put that thread on hold," and started talking to him. Got to hear his side of the story. I've everything, like all the pieces of the puzzle I tried to put in that article, so I don't have anything new to share. But it basically, I went from like jumping off a cliff to be like, okay, this isn't as bad. I still had some concerns, and I pulled those through in the article. It's not it's not a all sun and happy time. There is some concerns. So yeah, and then I talked to Nero. I was like, if I talk to Aki, and I'm saying I'm going to be objective here. If I'm talking to Aki, I got to at least talk to Nero. Otherwise, how objective is that? I talked to one guy and heard his side, and then that guy's wrong. So I had a draft like lambasting Nero, and I talked to him, and he was nothing like I thought. I thought he was going to be some like butthurt dude who was going to get on. I thought he was going to get a job at Jack Fly and didn't, so he turned around and just started blasting. That's not who he was. He was very reasonable. I had a very pleasant conversation with him. At my end, you can read the article, but the too long didn't read is people overcommitted. It was not a premeditated, rug. So BAC was not a rug. I wouldn't call it a rug. I would call it an overcommitment on behalf of all of the members of the BAC team, Nero included. Aki did not just abscond. He stayed on, and even when Nero wanted to leave, he stayed on, and he helped facilitate things, all the payments, making sure the team was good, and accounted for and on the right track. So he was there kind of like in the background, making sure everything was good for months. So that was from December to May, basically. So for 5 months, he stayed on. He didn't just leave. All the founders took their cut, including Nero. This came out recently. They all took their cut, which is approximately, around 100, plus, maybe plus 10%, 100,000 ADA. They all took that. They left 30K ADA for the treasury, which lasted the team for about 5 months, and then Aki passed that wallet to Justin, who is the current head of BAC, and then that was handed off. So the question to me is, and for everybody, if you own a Kong or if you don't own a Kong, is what is the ethical standard we need to hold ourselves to? My personal belief is that, and I've said this on Twitter, my personal belief is that mint revenue is salary paid in advance. You're saying, I am making these promises on the roadmap, mint 10,000 of my NFTs for 50 ADA, and we're going to accomplish this roadmap. To not fully accomplish that and to take all the funds is not like, I wouldn't do it. I think that it hurts your brand. It hurts your reputation. So the question is, did Aki, was his effort on BAC, was he highly compensated? Was he overcompensated? or did he, should that money have gone back, all of that gone back to the BAC team? I don't think all of it should have gone back to the BAC team. Honestly, I don't. He stayed on. But
they gave him the IP for free, right?
They gave
the
Aki
company
passed
over
the IP to BAC. So the question, and that's really the question that it boils down to for everyone to make up their own conclusion is,
right.
Should he have given back money, and if so, what percentage? It gets kind of hard because how many hours are you working? It's
right.
But
the agreements the four of them made beforehand, as partners and creating a business, and then being like, all right, well, we're going to sell the business, and so they gave the business away with money. It's all exactly. It's like it comes down to each individual to say, well, how does that make you feel from a business standpoint, right? With what you've just outlined,
right.
100%
and as and a day one investor, like I'm still here with the team. Two of the team members are sitting in front of me, Benny and Swag. There's 7 out of the 9 team members that are not associated with this at all. So that's 22% of the team members are. So there's 78% that aren't. So I like the 3/4, ratio. You guys know I'm big in the Ape Society, and Panzerati is huge. He's 150 in Discord at least, and then he's in Twitter Spaces and if him and Aki are on the same level, comparably, that's their same position. In my opinion, Aki needs to get out more in the community, take the questions. I'm not the one that needs to be taking the swings, because you guys are going to look biased, and I look biased, but I'm not part of the team.
Right.
But so we need some accountability. We need some people to come out there, but so we all do. Swag and Benny on the front lines, in the trenches right there, taking the punches. But we need the person like Aki and the other dev to come out and either take accountability to the public to where, this can blow over, because it's hurting the brand, like Arctic said, by just lingering and just like the heat, hope it blows over, because we're not that type of community, and we all want just to be over with. But again, hopefully Sunday, some actions are taken right on Congress. Come up, speak your piece, like we're all speakers of Congress here. Benny runs a tight ship over there, always gives everyone every, be respectful and ask any question you want. And hopefully this Sunday is no different, especially if the team are there and some people can come up and respectfully ask their questions and get the answers. Hopefully we all want and need, right? And then hopefully go from there. And this can kind of be water under the bridge. That's where I'm at in this, being in from day one. I'm not going to be emotional, as long as the guys are going to come at CNFT Con and represent the brand, which is still the plan, right? Hopefully, that speaks volumes to me as well. So again, I think this is well, let's see what Chrissy can go with the questions. Goo's got me with that. But yeah, man, I appreciate everything you just said. Arctic kind of summed up everything perfectly in a nutshell. Benny, Swag, anything to touch on? Anything with that, brother? I know it's just, sensitive subject, but pleasure for you guys to being on here, in the limelight, doxing, being out there. Y'all gonna be the face of Metaverse Miami, right? Yeah, y'all gonna get that fan on. Y'all need someone to help. Chrissy and I are here, holla. I'll man up that booth with y'all. But no, man, just anything y'all want to touch on that maybe you can give maybe a little behind the scenes of what y'all been talking with the team about, or something like that.
So I would say, like, in Arctic, I appreciate you, brother. I would say that I appreciate where you came from in terms of, like, understanding the people who are involved with this project, and understanding, like, Ochi from a perspective of a person, and like you said, you feel like everybody involved, it was an overcommitment issue, and,
exactly.
and we have to remember what phase we were in Cardano. Like, the Cardano had just started getting NFTs, like, not even 6 months prior.
This is pre-royalties,
pre-royalties, like, we're and that's another thing. We're in a bear market right now. We're in a bear market. It's like a lot of fear. A lot of people are leaving the space. A lot of people are getting shaken, regardless of what it is. And then remember, back then we were in mass euphoria. Holy shit, my bags are being pumped. It's $3.10 right now. Like, what am I gonna do? You know, so it's like you have to realize the space that people are in right now too. The people who are buying whatever they're buying, as well as the people who are selling whatever they're selling. I also look at it from the perspective of, you know, just like when it comes to, I feel like when it comes to Web3, I feel like people really forget it really is the Wild West. Like you really got to look at it in the perspective of that. You know, you really have to do your own research. Like look at what Arctic just said. He said, "I'm an investor. I have to take the responsibility on myself to do my own research." You know, and he did just that. You know, he did everything he needs to do. Now, do all of us have the resources Arctic has? No, we don't. But we all have the brain. I think we do. We all decided that, you know, Web3 is the way to go. Web3 is the place to start, you know, building my next financial house, you know. So I just feel like a lot of people didn't give the whole situation that perspective. And I feel like a lot of people as well, you know, like money's emotional. However you want to look at it, it's always going to be a fact. Money is emotional. People get emotional about their money anytime you talk about it. When it comes to like, you know, if you're betting money and doing fantasy football, whether you are buying crypto, you know. So I think people fail to detach that and start really like taking away that emotion from it and start using their critical thinking. And that's mainly all I wanted to
That's well said, Benny.
Great, well said, Benny.
That's greatly said. And I mean, more people need to take that and really understand it, and more people that invested in the, you know, in the traditional stock market understand that, like Arctic and myself with Pink Sheets. This is what this is. The Wild West, like you said, you can't, everything cannot be managed, and you know, you're not going to get a refund on this. You got to do your own research and be a big boy or girl and take accountability for your actions. And, you know, and it's sad. Sometimes you lose a lot, you know, and sometimes you win a lot. It's just a risk. It's a gamble. We're all here to take.
Absolutely.
But
so
but yeah.
Goose had this question. Do you know Arctic? Let me show you. Is Kong's just as much as Deckard's project as Aki?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. This is a really good question. Oh, go ahead, Kirsty.
No, yeah. Are they 50-50? That's what he was
yeah, I would say I've had, through the past 3 weeks, I've really gotten a peek kind of like behind the curtains of the project. I would say it is much more Deckard. I would say vast majority, and I think, I mean, Swaggins and Benny can have, they should also be asked this question as well. But I would say it's much more Deckard.
Okay.
Handily, as far as the vision and the deliverables, very, very much.
I can say right now, it's Deckard's project, but his lifelong friend with experience who got him into this world of Web3 is here to support and manage the portions of the company that he can't manage, right?
Okay, great.
Yep. But
so
it's
that's how it all transpired. I mean, you just gotta, you know, roll with it and kind of, and you know, it's the people that were affected with the, you know, BAC. It's just, that's unfortunate in all circumstances. No one's ever saying, oh well, but it really was like 10 months ago, and they're still kicking. I mean, you know what I mean? Like the whole money situation. Man, I wish that was different, but you know, who knows what was agreed upon, signed upon, you know, with all of them. And, you know, the whole Nero situation or how he came about it way late. It could have been done way early at 300-400 floor price, and it wouldn't have been a bit, you know,
everything's getting lost in the translation of just you know, we have hype and FOMO, right? Cycles, but you also have that to people and their opinions in this space. You know, where we have the 24-hour news cycle. In this space, we have the 24-hour speculation cycle, right? And there may be some news and fact and truth and root to that. And there are people that are just shooting the shit and enjoying the space and not really speculating on projects. But the reality is that when you have a 24-hour speculation cycle, you have people who have lives, and yeah, they want to dedicate the appropriate amount of attention to the task at hand or the, you know, the issue at hand. And so as a human being, they're being berated by like this influx of information and the issues, and also having to come to terms with the fact that, all right, well, let me organize what I did. Did I do something wrong? What did I do wrong? Let me get my information out. Who do I need to talk to? I get DMs. You're getting, it's like everything all the time, all at once. And so, you know, we worked with the team to get the announcement out ASAP. Like I was up at 2 a.m. when the thread dropped. It was news to me. And so they're asleep. Our co-founders are asleep. So the people who we work for are asleep. And so we have to wait for them. And then when we get them, we start talking about it and asking questions and be like, can I get some clarifications? What's this? What's that? And it was all just like, this is this, this is that. All the stuff that you guys have seen is what we were spoken to about. And so we were like, all right, well, we need to draft an announcement. I mean, that's the best course of action here, is to, have you write something out. And so I don't know if you guys know this, we've said this a bunch, but they're not English as a primary language. They're both from Brazil. So they're ESL. So that's why we had that joke in the server. Deckard is typing because it takes him a while to like get his words out and reorganize them. Maybe he's translating. And they have a good cognition of it. But they need to practice it more. It's like we speak English to each other all the time, but we don't speak Spanish, and you may know Spanish, but you're not practiced in it. So that point aside, we've been encouraging them to like, let's get, more comfortable with this. But the announcement went out, that first announcement. And then we kind of just said, all right, well, what do we need to do? Right. They never told us to put ourselves in between it or in front of it, but we knew that it needed to have that personal touch. So we just tried to share the information that we had to share. And let's fast forward to now where we're getting to a point where we're just seeing that it's not going away. And so we've had meaningful conversations and video calls at this point with Ochi, and he's a really authentic, great dude, honestly.
He is.
And so we're to the point where it's like, hey, we've been asking them to be more present. And this kind of happened back in the past with the project before Roadmap V2. Like they weren't talking at all in the Discord. They were like, hey, even as holders were like, can we see more of you?
That's so the holders were hitting it.
Yeah, they stepped up and they were like, they got more texty in the chats. And so we're at a point where you can take negative circumstances, take all of the the other stuff aside from the speculations on the efficacy and all that, but the ethics or the efficacy, whatever. So take that aside and just say, well, are we able to take a negative circumstance and create a positive outcome? And so we think that with this show on Sunday, having both the co-founders on the show is a huge thing. I mean, we haven't had them together on a show since JPEG Store back in like December, January, right? And so that's the movement. That's the direction we're trying to go in, because they're not trying to hide, and they may be stressed, and Deckard, especially what he's going through, and they're human beings. Can we empathize for a second? It's like they're not hiding. It's just we needed to direct them in the right direction, and I feel like this is a good step in that direction to have them speak and to hear their voices and to be able to test the authenticity. But I'll tell you right now, I trust them. I trust them both. I wouldn't still be here working for the team if I didn't.
And that's another big thing. I trust both of you guys so much. Swag, we go back so long. Benny, it feels like we've known each other just as long. I mean, just
almost a year now, bro.
Right?
We're putting our names on the line, our reputations on the line. We're all grown men here, dude. Like, but by you guys, like, still staying, firm, that's huge to us, and it should be to everyone, especially now. You guys had the same questions at hand, and I'm glad everything is getting asked, and I think a little more accountability is going to do it, and hopefully this Sunday, that's it. I don't, we don't want to really beat a dead horse on this, and we know Arctic has to be going soon, but yeah, man, I know DA just typed up something, but like I said, the Kongs community, the floor price, we really don't think about that. Y'all want to talk any more positive to maybe get Arctic excited before he goes? I'm excited about these.
No, I'm at a point right now where I am like really on the fence between being hyper bullish and just being like, okay, like this is a good project. I think that the way the team handles this is gonna show a lot of how they handle things in hard times and times of crisis. If you show as a team that you can make the right decisions, with decisiveness, that shows a lot, and that's like a cause to be bullish. But personally, I would like to see, like, I'm going to challenge Kongs to be the best. I think they deserve to be number one, and I know ways they can get there. I've made suggestions to the team. I'm not going to settle for a B project. I'm always going to push Kongs to be an A+, a #1 project. So the things that I think that need to happen, I think there needs to be some more accountability and transparency. I also think that that we need to have some more communication from the team. I'd like to see, I had the privilege of speaking with Aki today in a video call, and it was amazing. He's a really nice guy. His English is actually, he's self-conscious about his English, but
We
it's
tell
actually
them
pretty,
this all the time.
it's pretty good.
No.
It's pretty good. I'm like, dude,
We
what are you
told
talking
Deck the
about?
same thing, bro.
You feel me?
Yeah,
We all
so-
want to hear it. Don't y'all know the voice? You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
helps,
I
so-
want to see, like, when just, I think the standard, like when I am talking to any other project in spaces, I want to hear from the manager. I want to hear from the I want to hear from the founders. So I think they could be, I think they could be more present. I know Deckard is in this situation right now, so I'm going to give him a lot of, yeah, I'm going to understand if he can't. So that, and I'd also like to see the team take on some harder, more innovative things. I think art is amazing. And Deckard is, the art is the best. In my person, art is subjective. I'll say that, but the thing that really adds value to the art is doing meaningful things. Cool art is cool art. But if you're moving the Cardano space forward and you're putting that art on that work, that adds a legacy. It adds so much value. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the team has, and really, I think it's a really good play that they're going to be out there in public talking. That, and, in hindsight, we're all learning. Like, and we probably should have done that earlier. We should have, in hindsight. So I'm happy they're doing that.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're coming out tomorrow on Congress. I'm excited to talk to them.
Yeah.
The more they keep coming out and talking, the better everyone will feel.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
the biggest
That's
thing.
the
Is
best.
just transparency and hearing their voices. Even if
There's
there's a
only-
little bit of a language barrier, just them being there makes a
Mhm.
huge difference.
Absolutely. It's an echo chamber in here. You know what I mean? We all just echoing each other. And like the people that, like I was saying, the floor price that the community spoke at like 1200. It's steady and getting bought up. That brings to another positive part before Arctic goes. How are you liking the sneak peeks, guys? Anything that we starting to look forward to? Man, I'm ready for this shit to go popping off, man. It's been a long time. It's been, that's what we're excited for. Any delays more on the art? We looking like still, end of November type, maybe early.
Right now, I think he said it in his videos, November 14th. That's our target.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything different, so that's what we're going with. Target date of November
I'm just
14th.
giving him a couple weeks leeway because hopefully we see him all at CNFT Con. Remember to account for that.
Emphasis on target, by the way. Remember,
target,
remember there's a word before that.
Right.
I wouldn't even
exactly.
Go over some of these.
No, show the moon one. That's my
December
favorite.
8th.
The Viking
pull
one,
that.
the naked
Pull it.
Viking.
I know. I love this Viking one.
Nuts.
That one's sick. And that's one of the purple traits or something, right? One of the 3 type of purple traits. So he said they had how many traits, guys? Like that's why
340.
Yeah.
This one's trippy.
The rave one? Oh my!
They starting to get.
I want this one.
The charcoal fur is definitely going to be that rainbow skin.
Yes.
It is.
I'm
shirt,
saying that.
too.
I'm not saying that they said that to me, but I just.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping too. The red dress.
Can I get that in writing?
Oh shit! Here we go. Yeah. So
that's a 101. You can tell. That's a super.
Yeah, that has to be.
It's just like looking into Deckard's mind. Like I remember when I first became part of like the team, and like I wanted to like really just understand Deckard more because now I can actually be behind the curtain and talk to him, and just like listening to him about his life and where he came from, and the influences that he has and everything. Like it was just so dope. Just like now, like hearing that and then seeing how it translates. And I think the Magic Kongs, what it's doing for him is giving him even more of an outlet to put more of that just craziness out there. And it's such a beautiful sight to see, man. It's crazy.
For real.
I did not even see them ones. Benny, I love that you just said that, man. I agree 100%. And I'm just ready for some positivity. I think everyone's just, just the people that had to hold and wait just are kind of upset. we just ready for something to start going. And December 8th doesn't seem like a bad start. You know, like a whole year later, dropping
Year anniversary, right?
That would be sick. I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
That'd be cool.
But I would really be excited if the Kongs got 1-to-1 airdrop of mushrooms first. You know, a little thank you to that. I don't think, I know that was being discussed. I think that would be good for our community. It can't hurt. You know what I mean? I don't see how it can hurt. The holders the mushrooms
they've
first.
discussed it. They've discussed it, and Master of C's discussed it. And this is all from what I've seen in the suggestions thread, by the way, because I go through there and I read through what, you know, if I'm not responding, somebody else is. But people have asked for that, and there's some good points to both cases, right? But the case being that it's just more about, if it were to happen where you drop the shrooms beforehand, you need to make sure that you're going to drop the MK collection within a good time span, because then you have issues with the drag on people holding on to these assets. And then you have people selling them, and then people are buying them without even having, you know, the asset to use it with or whatever. I mean, just it's the exponential kind of, you know, piling on of variables. So it's like they want to find a way to mix that up in the right way, whether it's one way or the other. But yeah, ultimately to have them in that stop loss gap, if you will.
As long as it's a few days one way or the other, you know what I mean? It is what it is, you know, but kind of related to the gutter cat with the juices, you know what I mean? You can either use the juice or not. It's kind of, you know, hoarding that from someone who has a Kong. You got to buy it. I mean, you know, I mean, it's just part of the game. So, but Arctic, man, like I said, I don't want to, you know, I appreciate you on. I know you, you know, you had to go. Are you excited with the new art before you leave?
Oh, brother? I mean, the moon,
yeah,
the moon one. I need that. That's like
naked
far
moon
and away.
skin. Yeah,
far and away. That's gonna be my next BFP. Have to find a way to put iceberg on the moon or something, but that's definitely, I got a theory craft to see how do I get those. Maybe it's I don't know.
You got to min-max that.
Swaggins and Benny, if you have any information, or maybe I can squeeze it out of Deckard and Naki on Sunday. But thank you guys. I do have to head out. But I'm down to do anything like this in the future. It was great, and you guys are quality. Thank you for putting this together. And just information is good, and information presented by reasonable people is always better. So I really appreciate what you guys do, and thank you so much. It was a privilege and an honor to be on here with you guys.
Man.
Hey, much love. Thank you for
really appreciate you, Arctic.
Absolutely.
Shedding your insight to everyone. So now everyone here can watch it and know exactly, you know, kind of what transpired, you know. But thanks, man. Enjoy your night.
Absolutely.
Later,
be safe, brother.
All
right, guys. So now that we done with all of the, you know, the whole Kongs, you know, stuff like that, you know, let's talk about some. I know you guys are more NFT DJs, you know, rather than just being on the Chill Kong team. Or you like to touch base on how you guys got on the Chill Kong team, right quick before. What's some of your favorite CNFT project, Cardano NFT project? I don't know why I even said that. Cardano NFT project.
So since we're on Daily Chronicle, you know, let's do it in chronological order. Since I was on team first, and then
let's
I can let's
Benny
do it like
first.
that. All right.
Let's do it. I love your logic.
I said critical thinking. Got to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Come on. Let's go with that. Then let's keep going with that.
So So I got into NFTs like honestly like September. I got into NFTs. I had been like probably since March of 2020, 2021. No, March 2020 actually. I started looking into Cardano because I'm like, all right, Bitcoin I've been knowing about like for years before and wanted to buy, but it was too broke. So like and too broke when it was like $3,000 or something like that. But you know, eventually I'm like, all right, maybe I can get myself in at some point. Instead of telling myself I can't, let me see how I can. And then the whole world of crypto got opened up to me more when I saw there was Ethereum, there was, you know, Litecoin, there was obviously ADA. And I was just, all right, okay, cool. Let me see which one best fits me. And, you know, by trade, I'm a nurse. And I also have a biology degree. So like, I'm just all around the sciences. So like, I'm very like scientific, numbers, technical, but then I also definitely have my artistic side to myself because I'm also a photographer. But mainly what got to me was Cardano's, scientific process, doing things in a way that, it can be proven and is done in the right way, measure twice, cut once type of thing. And I just fucked with it heavy. So I was just like, this is probably for me, and it's in a good price point. So I thought, maybe this is what I want to get into. And I started looking at it more and more, and I started accumulating a little bit here, $20 here, $30 there, and eventually in September I finally decided to get into NFTs because I saw that it was Bored Ape Yacht Club and Ethereum. And my first project I got was actually I don't know if you remember Rhino Generation. Remember that one? Yeah, that's yeah. So I got
a lot of
that
people
one.
got into that.
I was hype about that, man. I went crazy with that. But yeah, so what I did after that was just started to look more into it. I think I got into ETH a little bit, minted this project called Laid Back Llamas, and learning about the whole grind culture when they were doing all that type of stuff. And so I went through a lot of the phases of it. So but I took my time. I really did my own research. I was watching a lot of videos, Chronic watches him too. The guy Dan Gambardillo, Coco Loco guy, but his
he's
CA,
on point.
it spoke to me. He's
on point.
Really is. Absolutely. And like I said, the technical aspect of it got to me there. So, learning the technology, understanding why it was good. And that's why long term I was so bullish on ADA. I'm like, well, if people don't, I see this as $100, $200, $500 coin, people seeing it at $1, $2. I'm like, fuck it, I'll buy it. But then, I got into NFTs a little bit more. And Rhino Generation didn't do the best thing it did or whatever it is, and I just kept looking. I didn't give up. I didn't just come out and be, oh, this is a scam, whatever it is. And this is what I'm saying. All of us here right now, we are definitely ahead of the curve. Like we are thinking differently. We're willing to venture off into the unknown. So I just want everybody to give themselves props in doing that and being fearless in that sense. So then eventually, I'm still looking at PFPs, and eventually I come by a con. And y'all know my Citron, the one with the red bandana. That was my first con. That's Rambo Kong right there. That's my homie. So, but that was also my first successful flip as well. So I think I bought it for 150, and I think I flipped it for 200. But that was my first split ever in ADA. So and I regretted it. I got it back, obviously, as you can see. But I got into the community. I think I bought in honestly December 14th. And my birthday's the 16th, so it was my gift to myself. So
I love that one, bro.
I got into it, and I just started meeting a lot of different people. I'm sure Swaggins was there and Chronic was there, but I wasn't so tapped into the community like that, crazy like that. But I just started, and I really love the community, and is there no other chill cons. So I just started seeing how dope it was to be part of this community of people who think like me and are really positive, and people are like Deck, slapping the bass and stuff like that, and random videos and stuff. I'm like, yo, who the fuck doesn't like this shit? And I mean, I know it's not Bored Ape Yacht Club, but I don't want Bored Ape Yacht Club. I want chill cons, and that was the big thing for me. And the more I got involved into the community, I started being more vocal, and eventually it came to a point where Diamond was like, hey, if anybody wants to be a speaker of Congress, come through. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll talk. Let me talk, dog. I'll talk, and I did. And then eventually, Ochi
we needed that.
Yeah,
we needed that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Without that, what would we, you know what I mean? That held it together, homie. Feel me? Keep going. I don't mean that. That was
cool.
Pivotal.
That was amazing.
Thinking about that shit. That was the fucking foundation, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people ask, oh, well, what does Ochi do? I know we know Decker does this, but Ochi finds talent. Ochi finds talent. The team is not made of bullshit. The team is made of people who are diverse, dynamic, and just ready to go and ready to rumble. So, he came up to me. He's like, yo, I really like the way that you present yourself. You represent CK in a very big way. And I was wondering if you'd want to be on team, because I really feel like we want to, go out there and really put ourselves out there more. And to touch on the topic of just the whole speaking thing, we tell them all the time, yo, we understand you perfectly fine. You're good. Don't need to be nervous or anything like that. But then you also have to look at it from the psychological aspect of it. This is Swaggins says, English as a second language. you have to think about the anxiety of one speaking. And I'll tell you this right here. Being a Speaker of Congress is not easy. It's not. People like Chrissy and Chronic, they're used to doing this. But people come like we've had people who volunteer to be speakers of Congress and they've never spoken on stage.
Definitely.
You know, and it's like it's harder than you think.
It is.
So that's all. So that's that one anxiety. And then you have to think about the anxiety of like, am I saying any of this stuff right?
Right.
Like we were talking to Ochi and he was saying FUD in a different way. And he asked us, he's like, wait. He's like, is it FUD or FUD? I'm like, it's FUD, Ochi. And he's like, see, Ochi, ask us. That's it. That's what we want you to do.
Yeah.
But I love that because that's that trust. You know, it's that trust of like, yo, like you're not gonna make fun of me. You're not gonna, you know, like you have to think about that. So you have that anxiety and the anxiety of speaking in a public stage. Like you got to give people their credit. So that was the thing, and not to bring back to the whole FUD thing, but that's why like when people are like, oh well, a written message is not enough. This and that. It's like, well, you have to give them a chance to do their best with what they have. Now, at the same token, too, like put your big boy pants on. We get that. We understand. Take accountability. We get it. And you know, and that's what they're coming up to do. That's why like Decker did his video. He's like, I know right now it's hard as hell for me to even keep my mind together on certain things, but I'm gonna say what I gotta say because I want my people to hear me, to understand me, and to know that I'm here for them and I'm not going anywhere. Same thing with Ochi. That's why he's coming up on Sunday. He's like, yo, like I don't know how many times I have to say it, but we're good. I'm telling you, we're good. And he's gonna set the record straight with that. But either way, back to the point. Being on the team has been a pleasure because you know I've gotten to meet people like Swaggins outside of the teim, like before you came on team and after team, got to meet people like Chronic and you know working with people like Diamond, working with Solar, you know, working with people like Master. Like I love all these guys are dope. Like, and it's just so awesome to see how much light is in each one of these people and how much it just comes in to make cons. And I guess the last point I want to say is that like, you know, we're all in this space together. We're in this space, in this, like I said, this unknown territory. Why are we separating in this unknown territory when we should be sticking together? What kind of shit is that? It doesn't make any sense. That's one. Second of all, chill cons is chill cons. We're not Claymates. We're not the Ape Society. We're not Ugly Bros. We're not Dead Rabbits Society, whatever it is. Like we're chill cons. So whenever you're trying to compare us, like I get it, there's certain metrics you can compare us to, but at the end of the day, we are who we are. The heart and soul of this project is Deckard. The person who finds the talent and makes sure that this thing is running while Deckard is literally slaving away 16 to 18 hours, maybe 24 hours straight, running with another artist on the floor. You know what I'm saying? While like all this stuff is happening, Ochi's in the back and making sure this thing is staying afloat, that we're getting paid, the team is getting compensated, people are the talent is where it needs to be, talking to marketing, like let's really get to what it really is, okay? Chill cons is chill cons. Y'all support us, we want to support you and give us a chance to do that, right? And I'm here and that's what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
That's facts, man. I love that shit, man.
You're a good talker. It just comes natural to you.
Never fucking faltered, man. That's just what's up, man. This is why I love you, Benny, Swaggins. We all are like the same. We all got that passion and energy for this project, for this ecosystem, for the whole community that we have, and like the brotherhood, sisterhood that we have. So it's super refreshing, man. I love it. Swag. Your turn, bro. Like that's hard, but you a pro.
Yeah, I'll condense it. I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. I can't really. I don't know if you can hit all that shit. Yeah, I don't know if I have like I'm vibing right now. Like I'm on a level right now. So the reality is like I got into crypto and Web3 through being a Cardano stake pool. A buddy of mine was saying we could give back and we could make money, and I was like, that's a win-win. And so I started out with a mission-driven stake pool with a drive to give 50% of my earnings to endangered children across the world. You know, whether it be in India without parents, etc. I could get into the whole thing. I created a website on my own. I spent a lot of time and money investing in that front end, and I did that for about 6 months, and I was like, you know what, this is, we're on a bull run, and I feel like I'm just sitting here watching numbers, and I can't really do anything about it. And how do I market without visibility? And I'm new to this space, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna close this down. I sent all of my delegators off to the right places and let them know, and closed the thing down, and got into NFTs in September last year, 2021. In Cardano, and I did that as a hedge on my hedge. And so I got into Cardano Crocs Club, and I made some really good bank on that from being a diamond hander. I've been diamond hander. I've been hodling since I was born. I guess it's just I'm born to hodl, like because I was holding drapes. Derp apes. I've been holding those motherfuckers. Sorry, I've been holding them for 6 months, and all of a sudden, boom! I'm like, yo, cash. This is great. So I made like almost 1,000 ADA off of just selling some floors. So it's been really good. I hold on to things, man. I'm gonna keep holding. I held on to my Kongs. So I got into Kongs in December, and that's really when I hit it. Like I was dabbling in a few Discords. I'm familiar with Discord and what it means to like hang out with people in Discord and make some friendships and network. I mean, I'm an adult. I'm about networking. I want to be able to collaborate, have fun, but talk to people that challenge me and that want to do things together or learn together or whatever. And so I was really kind of bouncing around from community to community until I saw Chilled Kongs, and I would have OG in that server, but I remember one night I got too high. This is before Discord Nitro that I bought it, and I was like, I need to purge some servers. And I was like, let me just get rid of this one. And then like the day of mint, I joined back into it, and I'm like, why did I leave this server? So that's why I don't have OG, for what it's worth. It's totally superficial at this point. But I came in and I sat there. This is problem number 2. I sat there and watched it mint out. I just sat there and watched it mint out. I was like, it's taking a while to mint. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to come back. I came back. There's 800 left. And all of a sudden, like in 5 minutes, those 800 were gone. So after that fact.
How quick did it go? How quick was that mint? I can't
8
remember.
hours.
Yeah, it was over a day.
Like half a day.
Yeah, basically.
No more. I hit 3 and I watched it. Then it was like I sat there. I'm like, I'm not really that huge into them. Then I hit 2 more, like 2,800. Then that last 2,800, like, or 800, it was like, and it went kind of quick.
It went quick,
yeah.
We only
and so I sat there for 2 weeks. Then after that, just sniping. The 13 Kongs that I bought were perfectly and carefully curated into my collection, minus like the last 2. The last 2 I bought were kind of like ones that I knew I wasn't super in love with, but I'd be able to get rid of at some point to get my ROI. And so I purchased those 13 on the secondary. I think the most I spent was $260 on one of them, and everything else was much lower than that, all the way down to like 40 ADA. There were a lot of ones that seller didn't send, because again, if you know that time in that period, CNFT.io, I'd have like 9 more Kongs right now from like 26 ADA up to 69 ADA, but they didn't send, and so it wasn't meant to be. But I bought those. I made friendships with people like Chronic. Some of the friends, like I made such good friendships that we went off and created a side server that people at the time were like calling it like the Kongs server or whatever. I don't remember what it was, like Kong V2. But like we hung out in there for a while. I made some really good friendships and relationships and connections with people over there. It's still going. It's just a fun degen server just to hang out and shoot the shit. But then I came back into I neglected the Chill Kong server for a while, but I came back into it. And then on the run up to V2 roadmap, because I wanted to be a part of those discussions, and I wanted to say, these are the things that I want, these are the things we're talking about in the other server that we're like, hey, this is what we're impatient about. This is what we want to change. And I shit you not, like they put everything that we asked for on there. And so that made me enthusiastic. That made me more bullish. And I was like, all right, I love this project for all the reasons I stated. And so I stayed along with that. And then some time passed, and we even were like, they were asking us like, how do we wanted the shroom distribution to be? We were like, oh, remember those discussions? We were like, why not one for one? And they were bouncing back and forth between it. I don't remember all the details now. It feels like 10 years ago, but we wound up being able to choose for that as well. We chose as a community that we wanted one for one. And they committed to that, to give every holder a whole free collection, basically. And that was really awesome. And so after that, I was like starting to mod for a few projects and focusing more of my attention to be like, hey, why don't I support these projects? And instead of just being an enthusiast, maybe I can help them out. And so modding was an on-ramp for me. And so I did that in a few projects, and then wound up through discussions with some people being like, hey, you know, I'd like to mod for Chilled Kongs. And so I reached out to Chilled Kongs. I said, I'd love to mod for you guys. Had a discussion with Ochi, and he was like, absolutely. I was initially there to cover for, it was almost like a job, dude. I was there to cover for somebody who was on leave. Like Greg Exorcist went on a vacation, and he's like, hey, cover for him. I think that was like the trial period to see, is this guy any good? And then after the fact, he was like, stay on. We love you. You do good stuff. And so I hustled my way up over 9 months. And then I did that for about 3 months, and then got popped up to team because I'd been co-hosting with Benny on the show and going out to the booth. And so like kind of doing extra level stuff that kind of met that level. And so we negotiated kind of how that would work. And so I wound up on the team. And so that's what I've been doing for 2 months now. It's been a crazy fucking 2 months, man. It hasn't been rainbows and butterflies, but we'll call it trial by fire.
There you go.
But I'm still here, man. My mustache keeps growing.
I love it. Two of the homies that y'all both deserve it. Y'all awesome pillars of this community. And, you know, besides myself, you know what I'm saying? You're the two homies that I'm so happy y'all represent this shit. Well, no, I'm serious. Y'all in the trenches and y'all go to war for them. And that's what I expect. You know, I don't put my time in Discord in any community, including the apes and shit. I could say there's only a few teams and communities that I would really want to be associated with, and this is one of them. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, y'all both deserve it. Let's build this shit together. Let's keep this shit going. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see in the chat what I'm seeing, and if y'all can read between the lines what's going on, it's making me feel more confident.
Yeah, I want to say one thing real quick too, is like, just to cap all that off, like I was super loud on Twitter. Like I started Twitter for crypto, or I had the Twitter account, and then I was like, I'm going to use this for Twitter crypto, because I never spent time on Twitter until this. But the reality is like I posted a lot for Kongs as an enthusiast when I was an investor. I still retweet stuff now and then and post some stuff, but I like other projects too. Like, and I don't want to get pigeonholed into like, all right, why is Swaggins posting something that's not a Kong? It's like, yo, I like Melting Moon Boys. I like Derp Apes. I like the Flamingos, despite the fact that they're down right now. Like everything's fucking down right now.
Let's give these dudes a follow. Benny at the Bank. Absolutely. We're gonna have all the descriptions of Chilled Kongs, their websites, Benny and Swaggins Twitter. Make sure you go give them a follow. Like, if y'all got Instagram, throw it at Chrissy. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We'll get everyone on there.
All the links will be below. Yeah, once this video comes out.
Let's talk about some other projects, Chrissy. Maybe pull up JPG Store, Open CNFT, and see. Let's pull up Open CNFT.
Yeah, what are y'all into?
Ape Society looks like we have the Ape Society team on tomorrow at noon. I
tried to be in the society, by the way. I tried. I was in there for the mint. I minted 2. They didn't go through. I waited 24 hours for my refunds, and then it just kind of it stayed relatively affordable around mint price for a while, and then it just went off. And I was like, this is beyond me at this point. I don't usually purchase when things are on a run.
Yeah. Since the announcement that came out yesterday, it's jumped right back.
Staking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, the cabins, like we've been talking about, the cabins. You have the cottages. You can only have 2 frames. The estates, you can have 4 frames, and the chateaus, you can have 10. Mm-hmm. So that's the way you generate society, right? By a frame, and that's deflationary as well. When you purchase, I think 750 society, get you a frame, and then 1,500, 3,000, and it keeps doubling on its way up. So in order to like start really generating society, you need to get to like a level 4, which is like to use 20,000 society, which is like 1,208 at the moment. So but then that generates you daily society coin, and that's the name of the game. And y'all hear them, and they're always in the spaces and stuff. So it's wild that they're moved on up apparently over buds, and that's a big thing. But again, there's a lot of projects in the ecosystem that deserve its shine. What are some of your favorites?
What's your all's like next one after Chilled Kongs? I mean, we're in this bear. What are the ones that you like to invest into?
Let's see. That
you want to either hodl, flip, or just, that you
I think a good call right now, honestly, and I don't have, I probably have 8 to 10 of them, is the Happy Hoppers. only because I think they're overlooked because of the fact that they're consistent. They're around. They're that cute type of art, right? They're an OG project, but they have that V2 burn coming. And so it's like maybe that'll, and they've always stayed kind of stable. Like even in this market, they've always stayed between like 55 and 65, 70. And so, with all of what they have coming up, it might be a good call to, sweep some, if you will, and if you're interested in it, like
what are some things they have?
Christy, that was her first.
They have the
NFT.
V2. I'm not sure when the mint for that is specifically, but
okay.
I think there's going to be a burn for that.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jub, but out there in the ether, I'll speak reality to you right now, or be transparent. Like I have been in, I'm beyond risk fatigue at this point. Like whatever beyond risk fatigue is like I'm consolidating and accumulating, like just building my bag up. So that way, when there is a project, like I was going to mint out Ore. I've been following them since forever. Like I just never, it was too rich for my blood, like to be dropping, 2,500. This is back months and months ago before their hype run and all their marketing. And then it really went up. Again, I got that tip through somebody through Kong. So it's like I met a lot of good people in there. But so it's like just holding out for maybe there's going to be something that I really like the art and I really want it. Like the last one that I was like, I really like the art and I just went dumb was Melting Moon Boy. And it's not doing so hot right now, but like, that's just they have things to develop. They just had an internal change of management. Like one of the co-founders and two of the community managers left because they had school obligations. And so they have stuff on the horizon. It's just a matter of getting to there. So I'm just chilling on it. I think mint price on those was 100.
So these are just some low.
Yeah, I know the DJs chat had, they were big on them. And I think you won if you minted and flipped them. It's all that game.
Yeah, I could have flipped and doubled my investment, but I held because I wanted to, hold on.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. It's just about, learning the time in the market, just like in stocks. Like, see how things move. You want to hold things because you want to let your runners run. You know what I mean? And you also want to take profits because you don't want to take a big loss. But I mean, you got to have conviction, and that's what we all do together. We have conviction. We're gonna, go down with the ship, but I
told you, man, I hold on tight, dude. Like in 6 months, you guys are gonna be like, what? Tigers held on to that shit.
I'm with you. But
that's how we really were in the beginning. We were constant hodlers. We didn't want to sell anything.
You accumulate too much then, though. And then you're like, you need to cut
loss. We don't have an unlimited supply of liquid to just keep buying.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish.
I was like that for a little bit, and then I was just like, you know what? Like, okay, I got to start flipping things. Like, I was like, y'all know, like, I was in chat, like, yo, I'm about to go to Egypt, yo. I'm sorry, I can't really talk. It was like the 2 hours before my flight, and Moon Boys was dropping. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I gotta DJ, and I gotta do it. So I bought like 2 of them for like 78 or some shit like that. And by the time I got back from my trip, they were like bumping at like 190 or some shit. I'm like, goodbye.
Yes.
So my rares were worth some crazy money, like 4-digit money on. I bought like a Yakuza skin for 211, and they went up to like 1,800, and I was just sitting. I was like, "There's only 19 or 34, 24 of these."
That's the talk.
Look, we turned down 70K. We turned down 40,000 ADA and 10 apes for Chrissy's King. And the same one, Space Wave, he bought that King for 71,000. I've been in the DMs like, we turned down hella money, and please.
You learned from that, man. You learned. Yeah.
I did the same shit though, y'all. In Pink Sheets, y'all know my story. I did the same thing in real life stocks. I did the same thing a lot. So it's like one of these times, I'm shooting my shot. A bitch is gonna go in. You feel me? Like, damn. But
look at that, right?
You gotta keep trying, man. Like, that's what I'm saying about the space.
Yep.
If you don't, I always tell people, and I love that I say it, and a bunch of people in the squad say it as well. Is that when people come in, it's like, oh, I wish I can get a Kong. Like, I hope I can get a Kong. This and that. I'm gonna say, yo, stay in. I guarantee you, if you stay in, at some point you're gonna get one. Like our boy, our son. This is the community son, Cash.
He's got 4 now.
Years old. He's got 4, and
He's
every day
killing
it's like,
it,
yeah,
huh?
I got rid of this, I got this one. I'm like, Cash, what the fuck, bro? Like, do you go to school? Like,
You getting past me,
He hustled, man. He hustled
He
hard.
hustled,
Like
bro.
we all hustled when we were kids, but we were hustling for like yo-yos, skateboards, gum,
Right.
baseball cards,
baseball
hogs.
cards.
It's facts,
those?
bro. We all understand that. Chrissy, pull up, baby. Pull up Kongs if you wouldn't mind. I
Here,
know
let
I
me
could.
get
I
you.
need to learn to share screen. If you all want to share your screen, they got that little share button. If y'all have anything to touch on, and
You want Kongs on what, honey?
just show the JPG, show the art. Like y'all have anything else, like just to show the floor, just to see what's up. And they had some killer deals. I know Tao sold. I know Tao bought that.
Dude, if I wasn't broke, I'd be scooping.
This is
I'd be
the
scooping.
The
time to
marijuana hat. They had some deals every now and then. Someone will drop one low, man.
You got to watch for some snipes here.
I love them, and it just. The last time I was looking to actually buy them, the last time we actually bought him was like 300. I bought my dad a couple. I got my dad with the marijuana hat, the ganja.
Chrissy, scroll back up a little bit. Okay, stop right there. You see at the bottom the red sweatshirt right there with the podcast hat?
Whose was that?
Okay, first of all, the red sweatshirt, that's already dope. But you see, whenever we're looking at these sneaks, and then you see how the on the Lady Kong, where like it has like the airwaves, like the red airwaves over it on that sneak. It's like now, like I was talking to somebody today in chat, and they're like, "Yo, I'm like investing like in 2 ways. Like I'm looking at one, what I'm gonna get the OG, and what the possible magics are gonna look like."
Okay,
so like I look at those podcasters, and like those look fire.
Yeah, absolutely,
dude. I really think you guys. If y'all do this right, and Benny, I love from back in the day, you know, you hit us up in Discord and hit up and like y'all, how y'all gonna like make this like the reveals and shit happen is gonna be really good, man. Like so
yeah, they're working on that. They've been working on making sure that gets.
And I love the little did the king like the Kongs do that
animation?
Like,
yeah, I was just about to ask you, bro. How'd you feel about it? Let me interview you.
That's the type of things that need more marketing though. Show more that I loved it. I loved it, and now like the mushrooms popping out of shit. No, I know. So I love what y'all got going on like that, my brother. It just so happened to be the FUD nonsense, not FUD, just some miss opportune timing. But we're gonna get this timing back on the ball, and everything I'm seeing with the sneak peeks and what y'all doing with the videography and shit. I love where we're going. So let's talk about let's talk about how amped we are to get into CNFT Con. Can y'all touch on anything the team is doing that y'all have that can like, you know, show what's up or, you know, any kind of, you know, anything like that, Swag? Benny?
Dude, we got, well, let's just say we got the 30 by, we got one of the biggest booths, and we're going to fill that booth out. So, you know, it's all planned.
Deck has already done like
Deck's going to be there.
Planning of it and everything.
He conceptualized it, and
remember, he's an architect. Remember, he's an architect. So
Diamond's going to organize it with him. They're going to show up a little bit earlier. We're going to be there the 7th to the 9th or whatever, and yeah, we're going to be hanging out. So that's the plan, and then kind of just take it from there. It's kind of like, you know, you can overplan. There's so many parties. It's the same mentality here. It's like in the future, sure, maybe, you know, they'll host a party, but it's like, is it a missed opportunity? We don't see it that way because it's a negative lens to see it. And it's like, it's the same thing with metaverses. We don't want to do a metaverse because there are other people that are going to focus that complete attention and money on a metaverse. And so why not participate in it when it's there? So it's like, we just want to chill. It's organic and kind of take it by ear. And so the space is going to be a really chill space for people that are fans and, you know, and holders, et cetera, to come and hang out with the team and with Deckard and chill, and then, you know, go on their way, come back, chill some more, or whatever, you know.
That'll be
so we're hyped for that.
I can't wait to see. It'll be fire if it's like a big ass jungle or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I look for. We can have our GoPros, Chrissy and I. We didn't have it, but at
gonna vlog it.
It was a fucking movie, bro. But we had our phones out everywhere. But this time we're gonna we're gonna come through and try to, you know, definitely
talk to everybody,
meet everybody in person and try to like put together a little something. It's gonna be freaking sick, man. So. Y'all gonna have merch and anything like that maybe given away to the community?
There's no sales. I think that there's like some tax forms that they were talking about. So we're staying away from that. There's gonna be giveaway items and exclusive. I think Diamond did say there's gonna be exclusive CNFT Con, Chilled Kongs merch But the merch meaning like you're not buying anything. You can certainly be there and then go to the website and buy.
Right.
But it's going to be stuff that's for promotional giveaway and stuff like that. So
perfect.
Yeah, it'd be sick if we like can give something like you got a Kong and you can scan it or prove it. You know, you get like a T-shirt or a headband or some shit like that. I don't know. I mean, something.
Let me call
like,
Bill
know,
Gates.
like
I just need we need an angel investment real quick.
Yes. Yes.
Get us the 3D printer with the lasers and the robot and the machine learning.
Come on, but I love no man, but like GutterCon really showed us guys the kind of utility and stuff. So like once like in another year or two, when we get that brand, we get that volume, we get that money, you guys can really start conceptualizing something really excellent to where, you know, we get to meet up in Brazil one day in Rio, you know, whatever, and on the beach and do some fire. Hey,
you and me both, bro.
And that's what I like about the diversity of the team as well. Like you know, like I think like one of the things I've been trying to do too is like I'm in New York, like so like I'm in Long Island, but I'm mad close to the city. I'm like nothing but like 40 minutes away, 20 minutes away from the city. So like I'm busting around like, you know, through like Brooklyn or Queens and stuff like that. I usually work around there. And if I'm going around, walking around, going to like a pot shop or something like that, and I just like the aesthetic of it, I'm like, could we hang up a Kong here? You know what I'm saying? So like, and then you know, and I can talk to people, so I can have conversations and like, yo, can we hang up a canvas in here or something like that? I'm thinking like,
want this
maybe,
IP.
Right, exactly, and then have that conversation, and now
that
right, and now that place can possibly be an IRL event, like meeting possibly. So I'm just like, those are the type of ideas I've been thinking about, especially where I'm at. You know, so
being
like,
in New York's huge,
which is a good. It's a hot spot. Like I'm not telling anybody to come to Boston, man. We're all miserable. They call us massholes for reasons because there's too many taxes and too many fucking laws.
Boston.
And your rotaries, I don't like your rotaries.
We could go over to Habit. I can show you where you can pack your
assholes. That's excellent. Y'all got y'all little fucking upper northeast fucking, you know, beef going on, huh? We love to go to both y'all hoods, man.
But New York, man, that's the concrete jungle. That's a place, man. There's so much to do there.
Haven't
Boston, there's really not much to do, bro.
We went out for nationals in basketball. We went to Newark, right in the hood, West New York, New Jersey. Straight up. We came in third. We lost to the national champs by 2. You know, also from back where we from, a bunch of NFL players were on that team, but that's a whole nother story. But so man, all right. So CNFT Con 30 by 30, doing it big. The whole team supposedly is supposed to be there, correct? Barring anything, you know.
No, it's going to be Master, Diamond, Benny, Deckard, and myself.
I think Juan's not going. No,
Juan can't go.
So they have like 5 out of the 9.
Yeah, Ochi can't go. Ochi, people don't know this, but he has a young kid, and they live pretty far away. So like from where he works and where his family lives. So, but his dynamics are too difficult for travel. But Deckard's going to be there, and again, I mean, Deckard's the artist. Deckard's the heart of this, and
can't wait to.
And he's going to sign my forehead, man.
That's it.
I'm ready. And then I'm going to get it tatted.
Hey, I'm down. Has anything happened with that billboard in Hollywood?
Yeah, so that was you could ask Diamond. I think that's a better question to just easily like tag Diamond in there because he knows the specifics. It's changed a few times, the logistics of it. I think we may have even shifted our focus and our attention. We did the Rock Soul collaboration, which doesn't just happen.
Great artist.
You have to reach out and you have to commission an artist like that. And we did 5 free paintings for our holders with that. And now we even have like that you can go on our website and you can
an a la carte type thing.
So that's like we've tried to shift those funds around.
I reached out to him for doing one of our Kongs. Man, he's a great artist. That was a great person to collab with, or whatever you guys did with. He's amazing. I can't wait to one day get one. So what are y'all doing for Metaverse Miami? You two are leading. I'm sorry, were you gonna say something that was relevant to this?
No, I was just talking about like, you know, like that's what we're talking about in terms of partnerships. Like, you know, we're looking to build nothing specific right now that we can really divulge, but like, you know, we're working on specific partnerships to get going like in the next couple of months. You know, and that's what we're really excited for as well. It's just like we always talked about the whole cross chain thing, you know, obviously working with somebody like Rock Soul, because you know, he did ours, but then you see he's doing DGen tunes, he's doing board games, he's doing Alien Friends. So like and Gutter Cat too, I'm pretty sure he's doing too. So it's getting those types of connections, and we're making them, you know, slowly but surely, but and making good solid ones, and that's what we want to make sure that we're doing on a day-to-day basis. So Yeah.
Always just having discussions and trying to grow and trying to find the best utilization of the resources that we have, and minus the delays. And the reality is, let's talk about this for a second again, just to bring it up. We're running on royalties at 3%, which is lower than most projects now. That was the average, like honestly, back when it first started. Now the average is like 5%. So we're running on 3% royalties. We've only done one collection, and we're coming up on almost a year. We have a broad team. And we're all taking one for the team. It's like, we're not doing this for some crazy salary. Like, we get paid what we get paid, and so, but we do get paid. And so you're paying people, we're hiring more people on to our marketing team and trying to focus on, the things that we can fix. That is CK. That we hear about people being like, this is lacking, or we see this lacking, and trying to bolster those efforts. But everything costs money, and so the reality is that they don't want to push back. Like, it was not a choice to want to push back. Decker did say in his video that it was, it was unfortunate that he didn't understand how like, he didn't really realize the heavy workload that he was going to be in. So that's why the initial pushback happened from July to October, and then this happened. And so now it's like, it hurts, it's like, they don't want this to be pushed back, because they need the funds to grow, to really grow outward, to like, to be able to entice and talk to these celebrities who, even if they're the right fit, they're like, we're a brand. You guys know the hustle. These celebrities are no different. They literally have made their livings off of hustling themselves. And so they're not going to do things for free. Some of them might, if you get big enough, but because they want to capitalize on the fact that you're big enough. Right. But when you're at this stage, it costs money to court these types of people. And you also have to have something that they want to be attached to as well. So there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with those discussions, for sure. But we're working on it.
Well, we love that you guys are working on it. That's what I was trying to lead into with the Metaverse Miami. What's your all's goal? Because you two are going down and having a booth down there. Are you wanting to just bridge the gap between, is that mainly an ETH?
It's an ETH space. We don't have a booth, to clarify. It's kind of like it's kind of like an exposure thing to talk about the Cardano space. It's not even to talk about chilled Kongs per se. Actually, I think they have a strict no shilling policy, which is totally fine. So it's kind of just to talk about the Cardano NFT space. And so we're in talks with them, and we're still working out the details of all that. And but yeah, just to clarify that it isn't going to be a booth. It would have been cool, but like, that's not it's kind of just like I think there are panels and AMAs,
different stages, like, they have fireside chats, things like that. So it's a lot more of like a networking, like specifically for the networking. It seems
for people that even go there, like, if you're even an ETH head, ETH head, sneaker head, right? If you're a Cardano head, if you're on ETH or you're into NFTs, like, the reality is that it's like a seminar. It's trying like, if you've ever been to like a business seminar where you go and you, for your work, and you sit in, you can choose on the calendar, like, what seminars do I want to go into, and you go and you sit. So that's kind of how it's going to be. I think we're going to have a little bit of that at CNFT Con, but
we will a couple panels. But this will be mainly, I didn't know what to envision Metaverse Miami to be. So that's good to know. I was trying to compare it to CNFT Con probably too much.
It's not going to be that kind of convention from what I gathered. It's more of a educational thing where you can go in and hear from people. And then there's a VIP party.
The week before Art Basel. So Art Basel is December 1st through 3rd. So this is like obviously end of November, correct?
Yeah.
So 28th and I were talking about
27th to the 28th to the 30th. 28th to the 30th.
November.
So we would have to take the kids and everything down there, Chris. If we sell a house and that, we have a timeshare up down there in Pompano or Fort Lauderdale, so we can take the kids with the parents.
Fort Lauderdale ain't but 30 minutes from it, so.
So if not, we might stay in a mansion or something with some of the ETH homies because they're all going to Art Basel. Are you guys staying for Art Basel as well?
I'm literally like flying in the first day, then I think that we would be on the second day and flying out the third day.
That's how it's bloom for Vince. For Chronics.
Just business
trip.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing in Rare Bloom, right? Just straight trying to talk with
you got to do it sometimes,
Which speaking of,
great networking.
I know Charles is going to be at CNFT Con. I confirmed that today. I had a call with IOHK Josh.
That's really positive news.
They're coming to CNFT Con, which is sick.
Stop ignoring us.
Exactly. Getting them behind all the NFTs is huge. Learning about the projects. then they can
I
push
think
them
I think that's
properly.
that's definitely the conversation I feel like has been going on in the space right now. It's like, okay, so how can we get Cardano to be out there more? How can we get it how can we get it so that it's taken more seriously? And and instead of talking about the tech, because that's the meta right now. It's like, okay, let's stop talking about tech and Cardano. Let's talk about, the NFTs. Let's put that on the forefront to attract people in, and then bring in the tech. Because like, it's like, you don't look at a Ferrari and be like, oh my god, I wonder if it's if it's like a 3.8 liter 400 foot-pound torque. People don't give a fuck. How does it look?
Good comparison.
Is it the real Ferrari red that we're talking about, or is it just some bullshit? So I think that's definitely something I feel like is important. I know the tech is important as well, but because if you think about it, Cardano is what, $1 million, like with the Hydra, the upgrade that we're going to do over the next 6 to 8 months. Is going to bring the transactions up to like 1 million transactions per second. Visa only does 24,000 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember those numbers.
Wow.
Solana does like,
Jed's coming, baby. Got any Cody? Let's go.
Right. So like, all this stuff is great, but it's just kind of like, we want to see it in action, and we want to see it in action on something that looks sexy. So I get it. And we'll figure it out. We'll get that sauce working at some point soon, but it takes time. We're young. We're still a young ecosystem, so we should give it time.
That sounds fire. But everybody in the chat, man, much love. We see a lot of the homies, Zero, Cloud, Reddick. Aki said Deck and I were thinking about a meetup in New York next year, and Benny will pick the spot. What?
Hey, let's go.
New York, we go.
And my homie Kardashian, the straight up OG of the space. My dude, been a long time. And we had all kind of homies up in here. Goose, E46, Agent, Clean.
Let's go, Reddick.
Yeah, man. So look,
shout out to NFA. I gotta give a shout out to NFA. Come on, like that's the squad. I can't
appreciate you, bro. Yeah, they definitely.
That.
The homies, I'm co-hosting the space right now. They in there talking all this shit always.
You're co-host, dude. You're always, man.
I'm always. So that's how I get in there.
Always everywhere.
To the top. I had to pin this to the top. You know what I'm saying? It's a little easy, like jumbotron. So like, y'all get in here, because I don't tweet much. I need to learn how to use social media better. Right? It's hard. They didn't have that stuff as a kid. I didn't have that.
Bro, you're on it, man.
Come natural.
The algorithm messed up for me. I don't
know.
Because
since you and Chrissy are one, therefore you are doing it.
It helps
they call it
people
helpmates,
are doing
bro.
different things. Different
I'm
times.
out there. I just don't tweet enough. If I had like look at that dude Wob. That dude tweets like 157 times a day type thing. I mean, I just need like a 1/4% of that, and it's like I tweet every couple of days, and I'll be.
Dude, I barely like looking at Twitter, man. So it's like it's hard for me. I just want to. I'll retweet my homies. Like that's literally what I created the account
so
for.
Much.
It's just
I need to get rid of it. Y'all need to teach me something, man. Teach this old dude some new tricks, bro. Old dog needs to learn new tricks, man. So that's great to hear, man. I'm so excited that we had this, bro. You just seeing y'all enthusiasm, seeing Aki in the chat, bro.
Yeah.
Seeing, hearing Arctic and seeing him and him express himself the last few days on Twitter Spaces as well, and here really gives me a good perspective and where I've been thinking and since this started. So the next few months is going to tell a lot. We're all a little short-sighted. Like you said, it's the bear market. We just need to follow through with the art, have a good drop. We really I know JPG store is going to be the drop. Really nervous about that because they're.
I think it's going to go fantastic. I think it's going to really. I think it's really going to surprise a lot of people.
But you see what just happened to Blake, right? You see what he just talked about, right? He just
and Master,
man. But I thought so
Master's
every
bar
mint's been straight
on top of his shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. So every mint has been good so far.
Yeah, they did the test. They did a couple of tests, several tests, and then they did some other mints, some smaller mints, and they all went off seamlessly.
Okay.
But Master's been working. I can't speak about the frequency. I'd say weekly would be easier to say, but generally speaking, he's been working hard and spending a lot of time and attention working with Blake and working through that process. And Master's a master.
Yeah, I know. We don't need no more nonsense. If we
we got to push the space forward. Like, listen, why not keep hey, risk.
Look,
it's like we've been taking risks. We've been taking risks.
I'm cool. I just don't. We don't need no more bullshit. We just want to get through something seamless. And JPG, like they're gonna hit it big if we do it with them or not. It's more our risk than theirs, because it's just we're gonna use their marketplace regardless after, right? Kind of thing. So it's like we really need them to be on their P's and Q's for us. And if not, it ain't on. It's kind of on, but it is on us because we were told a lot. So let's just make sure the team is on them and holding Blake and them accountable. But yeah, that's what's up, man. So
yeah, they're on it.
But I got so bullish, like, especially like when I just saw that announcement from Blake saying like they got like that seed round of investment money, I think it was. It's like
$6 million,
like $6 million, y'all. And like Blake has not been taking the salary. His sister hasn't been taking the salary, and they've been putting in the work they've been putting in.
Wow.
You know, so like
to pay their employees and to grow,
right. So
salaries, they pay salaries and give benefits to all of their employees.
Okay.
Big salaries too.
They're growing a business here. I mean, straight up.
Yep.
Blake?
We're all here watching everyone grow their business. So it is something we all have to remember, that we're so early. We're watching these businesses that may be huge later on.
Yeah.
I love you said that.
Yeah. I mean, we're watching and experiencing it with them. And I've never built a business like that, so I can't judge too much from the outside.
Right.
I can only just watch and see
you
how
can speculate because you're risking a certain amount of what you're right. But outside of that, it's like, hey, you know, if you can't get the answers, or if you don't get the answers, then whose fault is it really? And this is not directed at you. It's directed at the proverbial, like all of us. It's like so much has changed in my perspective since I joined a team. Since I joined this team, I stopped myself like 9 times out of 10. Every time I want to jump into a DGen chat and say, I'm like, I can't, because now I got to empathize with what's going on with that team. I got to empathize on what's because so I can't perpetuate it. It's the fun is gone a little bit.
It's hard.
Because I don't want to like troll. It's like trolling myself in the mirror. But
it's always easier to be that Monday morning quarterback. It's always easier to be on not to walk in someone's shoes, but sometimes that's perspective is warranted and needs to be heard and accounted for.
Just
and,
accountability and having our people come out like this, just having Aki in our chat here watching our live is
pretty sick. I appreciate
look at you're
that.
jumping out here and being with the community. I mean, he's not hiding, he's not running, and this is about him.
We want more of it, and I think they do too. It's taken a lot of time, and I don't think any of it was nefarious. I think it was uncomfortability or just like trust and growth and like really understanding, this collaboration as a team. A lot of voices have been brought up, like Benny said, and I think all the choices were really good. I mean, since I've joined the team, I've gone really internal, having lots of DMs with people, being like, hey, just talk to this person. How's this going, etc. You're doing a great job. Like, it's just, we're growing too as a business. You're watching this business grow. Will it be around? That's what people want to speculate on, is like only the person who says only 1% of projects are going to be around here, even they're just pulling that out. Like, where's the scientific data to really back up that claim? I mean, it's an analogy, but the reality is that the harder you work and the longer you work, it works out or it doesn't. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of companies that came out and websites that came out. Look at Ask Jeeves and shit like that from the early internet days. Those don't exist anymore, right? But they were like paramount at the beginning. So
and I like once again, I like what Chrissy said about like, we're in the early stages, like you don't go to the circus when they're not ready setting up. You don't promote, hey, come to the circus when they're not done feeding the lions. You don't do that shit. Like you make sure you get everything prepped, you do what you got to do, and then when the presentation is ready, then you push it, then you do the marketing, then you do all that type of stuff, and you got to give it time. You got the magic doesn't just happen just because you say so. The magic happens because
we focus
everything
on it
is set the right way.
About it sometimes. Absolutely.
And one thing I wanted to touch when Chrissy brought up about Beneverse Miami, even if you are touching about Cardano, being in a whole house and at an ETH convention, trust me, y'all, many people, they're hearing us. They're hearing me. I know they're hearing you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to hear you. And they show that. And your boy Fitty came in. He's got a Bored Ape. He came in, got a Kong. I've been in DMs with a bunch of Bored Apes and stuff and other ETH people. And it seems as if they are.
Oh, yeah. That dude, Moose, on that other space. You said you were, he's like.
I'm hitting him up with all. I sent him a little thing. But yeah, he's got one. But Fitty ETH, he's got a Bored Ape. I believe he bought in the Kongs. And he's tagging all y'all in it, but again, we getting what we want, the eyes over there, and it was good to see that another Bored Ape was interested in this, and that was the same dude that said, "Why would I buy that profile pic over this?" And then I think he ended up going to buy one. So again, us fighting back, telling them why, what's up, you about to get a mutation, know that another catalyst is about to come, because everyone forgot about that. You know what I mean? Like this is going to be huge. So like I can't reiterate it enough, man. Kill the art. We grab this community back. We get this hype train rolling, and then let's go. You know, there's gonna be 2 monkey profile pics that's gonna be contending to run the chain, and that's how it's gonna be. And both of y'all need to get in the Ape Society. A swag. I mean, for real, y'all take some of that nice salary they paying y'all, convert it, trade one of y'all, one of them 10s, because you see what it was, bro. It was just at 1900 yesterday. It went up, and it ain't dropping again because utility and the coin, and you can take ADA and stake them and literally swap it to min swap and swag. You know that game, Benny. I'm sure you do. Or I not better than me because I don't know.
In about 5 months on my salary, in about 5
to.
months I can buy one. Hopefully it stays at the same price. That's what I'm we're not doing it for the money right now. You know what I'm saying? Like we're doing it.
Doing it for the love.
There is money, right? But it's like, you gotta put money into the project, right?
Right.
When you're putting money into the project by hiring us, but that was the first discussion we had, and this is how transparent they are. Is they bring up money first. They say, this is what we can pay you. Is that okay? It's really not about the money right now. But like, it can't be about the money, whatever. And you agree to it. And you say, hey, yeah, I mean, because I'm passionate about that. That's where it was moving into the support position. And if it changes, so I don't have to DCA. It's like, this is my DCA money, but I work, I network, I try to, I hate to say this because people are going to clip it or something, but I hate to try to pump our bags, by being an authentic, real person and giving info and sharing, and also providing what I can, and what Benny providing what he can to bring hype and to bring added value, while they build out the tangibles. We provide other tangibles.
That's facts. And look, y'all were doing that anyway. Y'all supporting what y'all were doing for the love of it anyway. And y'all getting a little something on the side.
Yeah.
And y'all going to be growing with it. Y'all angel investing in the companies and part of the team. Y'all invested in your time into it. That's why I said that. You know what I'm saying? So then y'all going to get rewarded as this tree grows. So yeah, no doubt. Donuts, saying Swag got that mic on point.
Bruh. Yo, I'm telling you,
donuts.
There's gonna be another swag.
I love donuts.
If y'all play this back and you just see everyone talking and you just see me smiling, almost chuckling on the side, because I'm thinking like someone's gonna make another swag NFT again. Like they're gonna
yeah, absolutely. After this, oh man, I love you, donuts. You're the G.
Yeah, so that's all like he does. Your mic's so sick, and you got the setup, but. Look, Benny, you too, man. It was so great to talk with y'all, man. Absolutely. It was really awesome. It's been a long time coming. Y'all represent the Con community amazingly. What great spokespeople. Let's get this shit nipped in the bud. And I know we all want to where we can get back to chilling, right? You know what I'm saying? And getting back to just being relaxed and getting back to work, right? And I know the distractions are not needed now, because especially with some personal issues going on, there's no need for no other stress other than positive energy going that way. You feel me? So this should be all fun and games the next 3 weeks. We're about to meet so many of our friends that we've been chopping it up with the last 8, 10, 12, 18 months, right? Like, let's just make this a blast. And sorry to go on, Chrissy. Any last words? Because I feel like, appreciate you guys' times. We're going on like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I gotta feed my dog, man. He's like,
I know. I got
him
like,
it's kind of like I'm sensing it,
right now. I'm like, get over. I'm trying to finish up. Yeah, but thank you guys for coming. We just loved sitting down with y'all, getting to know you. Oh, there you go. Did you get a space pug?
I'm gonna have to hook you up with my homie Ultimate Warrior, Mike.
Look at that baby.
He give you a free NFT. You could put him on an IP, right? Yeah. He better have a pug like you to start a project space, pug. Shit. If he's money, But yeah, Benny, Swag, thank y'all again. Any last words for the audience to represent CHRONICally community?
Or just y'all in general.
Keep it real, keep it chill. Come on, Benny.
You motherfucker, you did it before I did it.
He got it. He got
Benny,
it.
do it. Let's go.
No, no, but no, for real, I appreciate y'all. Like, I've always been vibing with y'all. Like, you're speakers of Congress. Like, this is like just another Sunday Congress for real. Like,
yeah.
And I appreciate y'all. I love what y'all are doing for the space. I love y'all as a couple. Like, I love it. I love seeing how y'all working together. It's very powerful. Like, I hope it's an example for everybody. I hope it's an example for people like Chronic used to work in traditional finance and pushing himself and go out there. Cross chain moving, doing gutter cat and being here representing cons. Chrissy being an amazing businesswoman and doing what she's doing and being and showing out for the women and being vocal and commanding respect. See already in chat. They screenshotted you with the dog with Stan.
Hey, we are accepting what we accepting anything. 1/4 of this, like the swag NFT. Quarter goes to Benny, quarter goes to Chrissy, quarter goes to me. Don't hog that shit with that cute ass mustache.
I love it.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, but I appreciate
see what's happening, man.
I'm glad to be
cheers.
here.
Go ahead, Benny. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm glad to be here. Swags is my homie. That's my brother right here. So I'm just happy to be here. But yeah, like as we always say on Congress session, keep it real, keep it chill, and we're gonna see y'all again as per usual.
That's right.
Hell yeah, much love. Like you said it well. Thank you all again for joining another episode of the Daily Chronicles. Please like and subscribe. We're about to hit 1,000 subs. Yesterday was Chrissy's birthday. We started this channel like 6 months ago.
Thank you.
We've been out, we got 4 kids. We don't get paid for any of this shit, just like Swag and them. It's for the love, man. It's trying to grow and build in this market. So show support by the like and the subscribe button. And tell your friends and family about it because, in the future, they're going to need some places to go to get some excellent content and where to get it other than from the mouths of the founders and the projects themselves. So, and the team members like Swag and Benny that always keep it real. So, again, everyone, thank y'all for joining. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yep. Make sure you always check out Congress, 9 p.m. on Sunday evenings, UTC. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you to the fam who's been in the chat as well. We really appreciate you and excited to do this again. We definitely will have to as well. We'll be up on Sunday nights with y'all.
After we meet.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this at CNFT Con. We're going to do this shit live. We're going to say what's up.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
We got to get together.
Live on that. Good luck. Much love. We're going to have Ape Society tomorrow at 12 Eastern. And then Reddick and D-Clay Sunday night.
Yo, the boys, Reddick and D-Clay. Well, Wednesday.
Yes, we'll have Reddick and D-Clay.
Make sure to tune in, everybody.
After,
all right, guys. Again,
Sunday
happy Friday. You boys enjoy your weekend. Thank you for your time, man.
For sure.
Thank you, guys. Nice to see y'all. Take care.
Peace.